I read 17 books in the month of March. Saying it out loud feels a little bit unhinged. I'm looking forward to telling you a little bit about each book and if it would be worth your time. Let's start off with those series that I was looking to finish this month. The last book in the Lord of the Rings series, I finished The Return of the King, epic journey through Middle-earth. I mean, what more is there really to say? J.R.R. Tolkien did a fantastic job concluding the series. At some points, it did feel a little bit long. I'm a Golem fan, so how could you go wrong? Ultimately, this book scored a 240. We are done with this epic fantasy. The Burning God by R.F. Kuang. I survived, y'all. I think that they're very well written, and I'm guilty of saying that I kind of felt like I was force feeding myself. It was just so much pain, darkness, anguish, war, rage, betrayal. Blessings to audiobook to help me get through it. By the end of it, it definitely felt like an assignment. I was finishing it because I started the series. So many people had hyped this series up. It was solid. It's not my favorite. I can also say that R.F. Kuang will likely not end up on my favorite author list. Coming in at a 225. Next up, Aicha by Soraya Borozowi. I went in without really any knowledge and definitely no background or understanding of the mythology. Was so moved by this novel, and I feel like I read it very close to the end of Burning God. I didn't know that they were going to be similar, but I couldn't help but read that book and think how much more hope this book gave me. Throughout that book, was left with a little bit of hope. I rated Aicha a 253. For what it was, all the elements, I really just enjoyed it. It really resonated with me. 2 books in a series that I had already started, but they were not originally on my March TBR. Titan would like to say hello. Saving 6 and Redeeming 6. Redeeming is a chunker, for surely. Saving was the perfect little bite size. Part of me kind of wishes that I stopped there. Joey's story is said to be the favorite for a lot of people. I'm just gonna say it wasn't mine. The way I was yelling at Aofi to leave this man and leave him alone and to run the entire book, I don't understand how we're rooting for Joey. And then my friend who I was reading Saving 6 with, she dived right on in and continued with Redeeming 6. Of course, I couldn't leave her hanging, so I picked this up as well. This, similar to Burning God, I felt like I force-fed myself. This book was massively long, over 700 pages, 770 pages. But why? I did not need it. I did not need all of this. It was painful. It was depressing. I was yelling at that woman to leave this man the entire time. It was heartbreaking. What were you even hoping for? Because I wasn't rooting for them. Man, I just wanted her to leave him and to free herself. But I personally am secretly waiting for Gibbsy and Claire. Penelope Douglas, she has a way of just riding the tension. She has a way of writing the inappropriate in such a delicious way. And I'm here for it every single time. So I read The Five Brothers, and I'm not gonna lie, I had to restart. I didn't know that there was gonna be an assignment where I was really gonna have to track the brothers. It started off moving very fast. Things were moving rapidly. Immediately I'm invested. When, where, why, and how good was it are some of the things that I was thinking about. I was surprisingly very satisfied by the ending. And I think sometimes it's hard to really lock the ending in, but when I tell you, I was locked in, I was ready, I was happy, yes. Going back to score, both Saving and Redeeming 6 were very similarly rated. I have Saving 6 landed at a 229, Redeeming 6 landed at a 230. The Five Brothers came in at a whopping 268. Come through enjoyment rating because it really helps. Matt Dinniman's Dungeon Crawler Carl. This one is for the gamers out there in the world. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Looking forward to the next one. I have a full review on my YouTube channel if you want to know the details of how I'm feeling, but it got a 248. Giving a strike. Not perfect, but definitely a good launch pad. The nerd in me is singing. Wolfworm. It is a T. Kingfisher horror. I'm not gonna lie. It is super creepy crawly. It follows a young woman who goes to this town town to be employed as an illustrator for bugs. Town is creepy, the old man she is living with is creepy, and just the circumstances in which she came to be, what happened to the last illustrator, and then you step into the forest, you see all these bugs, and now your skin is crawling. A lot going for it. I'm not sure if the execution landed for me. I wanted more of those creepy, horror-filled moments. I wasn't really invested in the outcome for these characters. 197 is where Wolfworm is coming in. The audiobook was enjoyable, so I would recommend. Judge Stone by Viola Davis and James Patterson was not anything that I expected. It exceeded, y'all. I was tired by the end of that book. Viola Davis narrates the audiobook herself, so you already know she put her foot in it. She delivered us something that was gripping and tantalizing. Viola Davis's character plays a judge in a small town having to try a very controversial trial. The town has an agenda and they are looking to put someone on a pitchfork. Viola Davis, being a woman, being a person of color, and being in the seat of power to try this case justly without the support of a lot of people. It really touches on the things that I think that we stopped talking about. Our Supreme Court made some changes a couple of years ago regarding women's rights. Read your trigger warnings. Go into it in a healthy mental space. Just buckle up. It was just really great. It scored a 260. It's absolutely a strike. Please give me more. If you have recommendations for legal thrillers, let me know. Drop them in the chat. Thank you in advance. I appreciate you. Now are the books that almost derailed my entire month, so let's be honest. While I had plans to read series and start new ones, I started the Throne of Glass series. And not just started, who can just do one? So then I dabbled into two. And then, you know, I did a little sample it of the Assassin's Blade. Sarah J. Maas is a topic for me. Is she gonna end up on my favorite authors? Because right now she's not there. I'm looking to see how this goes. People say that this is their favorite series and this is one of the series that got them back into reading, and I am just here to see what all the hoopla is about and if I agree and align and if it can climb her onto my leaderboard. Have already started the 4th book. Update will be coming. If you want to know how that journey goes, definitely feel free to subscribe. And if you've enjoyed the video so far, feel free to give us a like. It really does help. I discovered a new author this month. A new author who is going to be a problem for our favorite author leaderboard. And that author is Miss Ashley Antoinette. Disclaimer is I historically do not gravitate to or urban fiction / romance all that often. I don't normally like the gangs and the drugs and the that stuff. However, I needed something to bring me out of whatever the burning god did to me. So I picked up A Moth to a Flame follows this young girl, Raven, who is basically the daughter of the HNIC in Flint, Michigan. The leader of the gang runs the town, is the end-all be-all authority. She has been protected because she is his pride and joy. He wants to keep his daughters as far away from the streets as possible. Just because he's living that life, he does not want it for his daughters. So she is fairly naive. She is very green. Them young thugs done taken advantage of her. We follow this story of Raven as she's coming of age, as she's falling in love for the first time, and as she's discovering what the streets really has for her. And if she really wants to be wifey. Whew. They also introduce her dad's right-hand man. His name is Ethic. Is everybody's type, I think. And of course, Raven is attracted, but Ethic knows better. That's the boss's daughter. She's young, she's dumb. It's giving liability. Long story short, things start unraveling and unrolling because each action has a reaction and some of them are devastating. The dynamics within the relationship, the father-daughter bond always ties at my soul and my heartstrings as a daddy's girl. This one definitely wrecked me. If you were looking for a happy ending, this is not that, but it was definitely what I needed. Took me by storm and it scored a 275. I was invested, so much so, had to pick up Ethic because Ethic might be my new book zaddy. He really might. Tiernan might have to look out because ethics here. So I dived into ethic, and when you thought it couldn't get a little bit wilder, when you didn't know if you were going to be invested in him or rooting for him, it follows his story. It's a continuation of A Moth to the Flames. You're continuing in Ethic's life and his journey. As I'm learning about Ashley Antoinette, nobody is safe, and it's not going to be a happily ever after, but the dialogues that we have between Ethic and his women and just the struggle and the blackness of it all is just gripping. I found myself yelling at the audiobook. What was being said was just so spot on. Speak some life into me because that's what was happening. They're shorter books, they're quick, and they're dirty, so I had to go on to Ethic 2. Ethic 1 scored a 278. Ethic 2 scored a 285 because what was she doing? What did she put in that writing? That is 3 books over 250, and she is coming in swinging, so don't be surprised if you see her on the top of the leaderboard. I have 3, 4, 5, and 6 on the way, so I will in fact be continuing that in April because I need to know how it ends. You think how many books they gonna write about this man, but listen, I don't care because I'm here for them all. The way he just is yes. It's a yes for me. I did dabble into Curvy Girl Summer. I have a full review on my YouTube channel if you want to know deeper of my thoughts, but this is by Danielle Allen. It follows a cute, like she is a single in her going to be 30, searching for her man. She is not just searching for anybody though. She is searching for the one. She has standards and her family is applying pressure. They are judging her. They are making her feel pressure to find a date or a man by her birthday. So that's what she sets out to do with the help of the local bartender at her watering hole. So ensues a friendship and the rest is just juicy. So I thoroughly enjoyed that as well. Scored a 235, definitely worthy of picking up if you are interested. Sometimes people save the best for last. That's not the case today. So the last book I am going to mention is What Boys Learn. And I saw this in Barnes and I read the back and I was all like, this sounds really interesting. It is a thriller mystery by Dramana Romano Lax. The premise was that a murder happens, a couple of young girls are killed. A mother is concerned that possibly her son was involved. As things unfold, as the story unfolds, as she learns more about her son and the relationship that he had with these women, these girls I really should call them, she becomes more suspicious. As she thinks back as some of the interactions that she'd had, she's talking to other people and she begins to believe that maybe she enabled and just was delusional for a while regarding her son's behaviors, problems, habits, and what he is actually capable of. The synopsis sounded really good, but I think it had me until maybe 75% of the way. Because after a point, it just got a little bit unrealistic. My parents would have never done some of these things, and I think that played a factor in things as well, is the differences in parentage that you will find everywhere for various reasons: race, culture, geological location, financial resources, etc. All I can say is it was giving, you're kind of dumb, I can't believe you did that, and you should have known better. And I think that definitely impacted my enjoyment score. Overall, this one is a split. I don't know, it's a 165 in my score. I probably wouldn't recommend this for most. And there you have it. That was the whirlwind of a month for me. March was fantastic. April is already off to a good start. Truly a pleasure to have you here with me, and I just appreciate you all. As always, keep your mind in the books and out of the gutter.